Hi everybody, this is Beachcricket, and today we're going to do a tour on Paul's rig, and this is him, and he is going to just show us everything. All right, Paul.
All right. Well, this is my 1993 Ford E350. It's a high top. It's got a four-wheel drive conversion on it that was done in Quad Van up in Portland. I just bought it, already converted, and I built out the inside of it. Uh,
So we got a bicycle rack on the front.
bicycle
Nice.
rack on the front, which I would have on the back, but I've got a toolbox on the back, so that kind of takes that space up. But that's kind of nice though, because I got my generator and tools and stuff in there.
Tell us about your vents that I love.
Oh yeah. Well, these, contrary to all the questions I've been asked, don't actually help cooling. What they do is they help vent the heat out from underneath the hood of a van, because vans don't have most vans don't have a problem with cooling, but they pull all that air in and there's nowhere for it to escape. So these are on there and they're louvered, so when they're louvered this way, it allows the heat to escape. There's holes cut inside here. Same on the fender over there. And I just got the idea. I did some research online, and you can get louvers like this at several spots, but they're pretty expensive. I bought these from just a custom rod thing I found online, a hot rod shop.
Awesome.
And you can buy these, paint them yourself, and put them on, and it costs like $40, not $200.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
That was wonderful. And your guard up here on your window, what kind of guard is that?
That is, oh man, you can find it online under motorhomes. It's just a RV white, so it insulates, reflects the sun, works really good. I love it.
Okay.
And it's like $50 on Amazon or
good
something.
Price.
So, yeah, she's a four-wheel drive. It's got a 460 V8, so I don't pass a whole lot of gas stations, but this is home, so I don't really care.
Exactly, that's how I feel.
Right. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's take a walk around her.
Yeah,
I see we have. Let's go this way then.
This way here.
All right. And does your van have a name?
Yep. I've had several names actually, but the one I'm sticking with is I call it Double M. Mobile Man Cave.
That rocks. That's cool. All right. So you got the windows so you can vent?
Yeah, this.
Nice.
Yeah, this came with all the windows. It was a passenger van. It had like, I don't know if it's 11 or 15 passengers. But the deal with these vans is this is a four-wheel drive van. You can buy all-wheel drive vans, but in order to get a 4x, you actually have to have it converted. So initially, I didn't want one with all the windows and this, that, and the other. But if you find one of these and it's a decent price, then you must just take it. So what I found was it's easier to cover the windows than it is to put new windows in. So what I did was, in the back, I covered up, I reflectixed, insulated, and put paneling over the windows in the back. So, and then these ones I left untouched because they actually open and vent in.
Fantastic.
So
love that. I wish I had that in mine. All right.
On the back here, I put this. It's just a diamond plate toolbox. You can get it on Amazon. You can get different ones. What I did was, this is a cargo carrier that mounts into your hitch. And what I did was put marine grade plywood under it, and I bolted the box down to the carrier, so it's very secure. And there's a lock in the pin, 3/8 grade 8 bolts holding this thing on. It's not going anywhere. Solar suitcase over here, the Renogy, and I can't say enough good about it. Renogy's an excellent product. It works really good, and So then the thing is, with your power on the road, you have to have several sources. You know, you can have a deep cycle battery. I chose not to hook it to my charging system of my van because I just didn't feel like messing around with it. A lot of people do that. What I do is I have a deep cycle battery, and I basically use the solar to recharge that battery. And if the weather's not so nice, I've got the generator and a charger, and that will recharge my battery. So you got to have many things. You can't have just solar or just this or just that. You need
kind of like a composite, yeah.
Several things to cover all the options. I mean, if you're in the desert all the time, I suppose you could get by on solar, but I'm from the Northwest, and I think most of you know we don't get a whole lot of sunshine except for about 3 months a year. So anywhere up there, you know, you're going to have to be plugged in. You're going to have a generator to recharge your deep cycle battery. So
very good.
Has to have their stickers. Mine are a little dirty at the moment, but
yeah, we are in the desert.
Everybody's got to have your stickers here. I got to shout out to a couple of guys here.
All right.
Got Camper Van Kevin,
which we have met here.
And to Mike, Backroads Vanner. He's out of Texas. He's a great guy. Got a great channel. Lots of good videos. Gave me many ideas for things on the road. And of course, you got to have your Just Incredible stickers there.
Yes.
And shout out to Adventure Van Man, Brian. His channel's great. I love the guy. Lots of good ideas there.
And he's here also at the RTR, and he's a wonderful guy. He's been at our campsite for a couple of nights. He's awesome.
He is. He's a great guy.
All right.
All righty. So now I guess we're ready to go inside.
Yeah, let's take the tour.
The Mobile Man Cave.
Mobile Man Cave, here we come.
All right.
Oh, I love how you got the pockets on the door.
So this is an idea I got online. This is like a full-size door shoe organizer. And I just cut it, you know, into pieces, and I used it on that door, and I got a couple other spots in there. This is just a rack I got at Fred Meyer's, I believe.
Isn't that nice, you guys? Look at that. Yes.
So, yeah, I took the plastic panels off the doors, and before I put the wood on, I shoved them full of the pink fiberglass insulation.
Oh.
Seems to work pretty good.
Nice tip on that as well.
And then, you know, Reflectix on the windows. That helps. I mean, there's things you can do, but on a hot day, I can put my hand on the outside of this window with the sun shining on it, and I can't hold my hand on it. On the inside, it's warm. So Reflectix isn't, you know, the best insulation in the world, but something's better than nothing.
Exactly.
So,
all right.
So let's come on in.
Let's come into the M.
So what I did over here is I put a swivel base on the passenger seat, and I don't have one on the driver's because it has the four-wheel drive shifter right by the seat. So,
exactly.
But putting the swivel on there, you know, it opens up my living room here. I have a full-size futon, and because I wanted a couch and I wanted a bed. And I found something. Now, this is something everybody's going to learn. You know, I've traveled 3,000 miles. I've been on the road for a month and a half. This is not my first van, but I wanted a couch and a bed. So I thought, well, this might be the best thing. It didn't work out. When I get back home, I'm taking it out, and I'm going to build a bed over here. And I can, in the same space I've put this, I can put a twin bed in here.
Okay.
So that's the only thing that I really didn't like about this whole thing. I've been living in this thing for since December 3rd. Actually, before that, probably in October, I've been living in here. And as you can see, it's got the high top, and I've got the fantastic fan up in the roof there, and it's got a thermostat on it, and
come in here.
you can leave it open. You can you can set the thermostat and it will turn on and off if that's what you want. I mean, most of the time I don't even bother with that. It's with my windows open and that open, I can get actually a pretty good breeze in here.
Exactly.
And so when they do a high top like this, they actually will either cut out the entire roof inside. This area here and here is the old roof still. And they can either cut it all out, or they can do like here, and they leave a shelf in here, which is the full width and about 29 inches deep. And you can see I've got clothes up there and a bunch of stuff there. I've got stuff stored up here in the front. I got all sorts of stuff. And yeah, it's just there's tons of storage in this thing. And like I said, with this here, storage up here, I've got the toolbox on the back. That's all stuff that if I didn't have that storage, it would be inside under here, over there, taking up more space. So that worked out pretty good. And here's some more of the shoe organizer. I just cut. You can cut chunks of it off. And a little tip on here to give a little more something to screw into the wall here. I put some Gorilla duct tape on the back side so it gives it something to kind of hold on to.
That's an excellent tip too. I like that. All right.
And got the spice rack, got my knife rack over magnetic. And for anybody wondering if the knives will stay up there, I've had 2 of them fall off in 3,000 miles, and they were some of the worst roads you can ever imagine driving on.
Wow.
So it's no great big deal there. And yeah, it used to have...
Your galley's nice. I like how you got it organized.
What I did was I started out with a basic idea of having a top. And what that is a panel that you can buy at Home Depot or Lowe's. And it's like pieces glued together, like a butcher block kind of thing.
Right.
And they're all 4 feet long, all of them, and just different depths, like 12, 16, 24 inches deep. That is 16 inches deep. And when I'm sitting on my couch here, I can just right there, I can make my meals.
And very nice.
So under there, I've got storage. I got a toaster oven down there, which runs off the generator.
Okay.
I've got water storage right here.
Exactly.
I mean, in a van, you have to use every square inch of what you have. You cannot waste anything. So I had a little space right there. So those are 2 6-gallon jugs I got from Walmart. And I just put them back in there. I got a coat rack here. I hang stuff on, hang coffee cups on, And
that's really handy right there. Right. I like that.
And my tabletop or countertop here, I thought about several different types of stoves. And the reason that's the Coleman butane stove. And the reason I went with that one is it sits flat. I mean, you just pop it open and put your butane thing. A propane one, you got the thing on, or you got a hose coming off which might work good for somebody, but I like this one. And I just put some brackets on it, and I got like 2 little bungee cords, and that holds this thing down solid. This thing goes up under there.
And I like how you did your backsplash.
Yeah.
Protect it. That's amazingly smart.
Well, I can't take credit for that. I thought I wanted something as a backsplash, and someone at my work said, hey, why don't you use a piece of steel or stainless steel? I thought, that's a good idea. So that is actually another piece from Home Depot.
Okay.
And they come in 24 inches, I think, and then different heights. I mean, you can go I think it's 24 by 24. I just went with that because it works pretty good. I mean, the problem is I found out that when you're heating stuff up here, the heat comes up, and I have to shove all my spices over this way because it kind of heats it up a little bit.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But it works out all right,
Very nice.
And yeah, I put this little piece. This was the last thing I put on the countertop. Put this as like a 1x2, and it just keeps everything from sliding off of there,
Yep.
And
very nice.
I found, this one
the
and this
racks,
one,
yeah.
those Fred Meyer's or any home improvement store. I got the with the bamboo
specialist
utensils, and I got a paper towel thing. It was all on Amazon. You can find all that stuff on Amazon.
I really love it. It looks neat, nice,
yeah,
organized. It's functional.
Right.
Very functional.
Here's another cool thing.
You have a chopping
here's my cutting board.
I like it.
What I did was I was looking for a place to put this thing. You can see how big it is. It's 12 by 18 inches. And so what I did was I was looking around, and I had some more 1x2, and I just made that, and I had some 1/4-inch plywood, and I screwed that on there, and then
you go.
Because it has to be big, wide, a little bit wider, so you can actually move it out, or it kind of flops around. So I made a little spacer here. Example of looking at and making sure you have a spot for everything. Nothing really can be one purpose. Things have to have more than one purpose in a van, so you use every inch that you have. And
very clever, very smart.
Like I said, this is the 4th van, so
yeah,
I've got some experience with
lots of tricks, lots of
what works and what doesn't work. And so back here, I don't know if we're even going to be able to see this because it's so dark back here. Let me turn some light on.
All right.
So
we got
let me see.
LED lights up
I've
there.
got these 12-volt. These are LEDs. There's one there. There's one over here.
We got one on the side.
One over there. So I got these lights, and what we got down here, that's my down in there is my power area. I've got a 12-volt deep cycle battery. I've got a on-off switch, fuse box, and then on this side here I've got a power strip and a battery charger down there.
Okay, kind of crawl over there.
That's my power setup right there. All that stuff's down in there.
There's the strip.
So in the battery charger there, it works off of 110, so I either have to use the generator or run power. There's the bucket.
There's the bucket. Everybody has a bucket.
Everybody has to use. Well, not everybody.
Not everybody has a bucket, but hey, a lot of us van dwellers have a bucket.
Right.
Let's do this.
Here's my thing on the bucket situation.
Okay.
I was actually considering using a porta potty, but you start thinking about, okay, it's kind of more convenient to use, but you fill something up, and then you have to take it out and empty it eventually. So I just figured a bucket, I double line it with some heavy-duty trash bags, do my business, tie it up, and put it someplace till I get rid of it later.
Exactly.
But yeah, that works fine. And and the other, that's all that. So here's the hygiene situation.
Okay.
Wipes. Walmart wipes. You can get any whatever brand or whatever kind you want, but
Huggies is my favorite.
Right. I can take a shower, all the gals out here are going to go, oh my God, but hey, you can take a shower once every 2 weeks. You can once a week. I mean, I know people like to take their showers every day, but when you're out in the middle of the desert, it isn't feasible to do that. So you got your wipes. I mean, all you got to do is clean the areas that need to be cleaned, and you're good.
Yep. And
you take your shower, once in a while, but
feel extra good.
Yeah, it works fine.
It does. It works.
Okay,
wonderful.
So let's see.
Let's go over here.
I have a Mr. Buddy heater. Keep it covered up because they say that you're supposed to keep that pad clean, but I've got the Mr. Buddy heater.
And that looks very clean. It looks brand new.
It's covered every night.
Okay.
And, I'm using the 1 pound bottles. I'm using the little green. Get this thing to work. The little green 1 pound bottles that are reasonably priced at Walmart. Everywhere else, they're pretty expensive.
Yep.
But this thing is safe, and I'm going to say, I'm not going to, tell people, the safety stuff is on this. If you don't feel comfortable, don't do it. But this thing is perfectly safe, and here's the thing. If you have ventilation, you got to have a window cracked. You got to have your vent open or some combination thereof. And if you're worried, you know, if I got the windows open and this and that's going to be cold, and I'm just kind of defeating myself, this thing will put you out of here. I put this thing on low, and my van has been 80 degrees when it's 40-something outside. So that's not a problem. They're safe to use as long as you understand you have to have ventilation. It's like anything, you know. And they've got, you know, the safety stuff, tip over, they got low oxygen, whatever. I mean, I have a CO2, so people won't get on me about that. I have a CO2 or carbon monoxide alarm that will go off that has never in 6 weeks of or 2 months of being on the road come close to going off. The only time it's ever gone off is when I bumped it, you know, and I set it off. But I've cooked in here, but when I cook, I have my vent open. When I run this, I've got my vent and a window open. So there's no problem with that. Here is my Nomadic fridge, and it's a great deal, you know. I mean, I run it off. What I do is a lot of people have things hooked to their solar, but mine is so simple that I don't do that. I use the solar to recharge the battery, and this I just run off the battery. It runs, I think it's like 3 amps an hour or something, so it's no big deal.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's because this thing is only running 15 minutes of an hour anyway, so I can fridge it home. You know? So, and I got, you know, a 3 LED lights. With the lights, I don't know about the fridge because I didn't run it. Yeah, I got my indoor-outdoor thermometer, which is pretty handy.
Yes, it
And
is.
it tells you, it actually will tell you, you know, am I doing better in here than it is outside? Or, you know, you can see if it's colder inside or outside. So far, it's always been warmer inside when it's cold, and then it's cooler or about the same temperature inside when it's warm outside. And that's what you want. If you can keep it, you know, the same temperature or a little bit lower inside your vehicle, you're doing pretty good.
You're doing pretty good. Yep.
So, yeah, Nomadics a good product. I mean, it's great. You know, I mean, you got, you know, the thing is, you can buy a really good, like a Yeti or some other type of one. Like, you still got to buy ice. I mean, yeah, they'll keep it for a week or two or more or longer, some of them, but the $200, $300 you're going to spend for a Yeti, this thing here will run off of very little juice and do, you know, basically the same thing. So this is just, you know, it's simple, especially, I mean, if you're going to be somewhere near services where you can get ice easily, we're like 5 miles at least from and down a god-awful road. I mean, Bob's probably going to say, no, this wasn't that bad, but
the road is god-awful, but we are maintaining.
Yeah, it's anybody's going to come out here, it's totally doable. I've watched people pull trailers, Class A's, whatever. You just got to go a little slower.
Yes.
So, yeah, I got my privacy curtain here.
Okay.
This thing unfolds and it goes across the cab.
Oh, so you got the little ball bungees.
Yeah, I got these. I think they're called canopy bungees.
Canopy?
I love these things that are so easy to use.
Oh, yes, those are nice. I saw some of those in Quartzsite.
Yeah, you can get them anywhere. Actually, you get them if you get like a big thing of the bungee cords. They'll have some of those in them.
Oh, okay.
You know? So yeah, this goes across here. And
his curtain rod. I mean,
yeah, this is a shower rod. It's the shower rod. And initially, I used, like a lot of people, the rings.
Yes.
And the little clamp thingies.
Yes.
They don't work.
No, they don't.
Trust me. Everybody who's done it.
He is right.
So what I did was I actually sewed a loop in it, which you know, by hand with a crappy needle. I did the best I could. But it works,
it looks
you know.
Fine.
And if anybody wonders if these curtains insulate and keep it cooler or warmer, trust me, they do, because I've gotten up in the morning and see, I put Reflectix on all my windows that are open in the daytime. And only one time have I ever took that Reflectix out after I got up and wasn't dressed yet, and decided to pull it out and then get dressed, it was cold. And the same thing with this. You pull this curtain open in the morning, you can feel like, holy cow, it's cold up there. So it all works. And then from here, you can see that windshield cover.
How wonderful
I use it
covers.
for two things, actually. I use it for the sun. Obviously, it keeps it cooler. But it actually works for nighttime, too. I found, even with the curtain just by itself, it does so-so. But I put that on there, and that's another layer of insulation for your windshield. And that's where all your either heat goes out or your cold comes in. It's through all that glass you got up there. So that's a big deal, and it's really cheap. It's not that bad, you know. So
all right.
Trying to think if there's anything else really in here.
I think you've covered the tour excellent, and it's so well organized, and you've thought a lot of things out, and it has the simplicity to make your life easier. You even have another LED up here too.
Yeah, there's one there, and there's one over here.
You got one here.
And
then this
that's
one here.
That's the biggest thing with the van. I have people come in here and tell me, they're like, wow, this place is really neat. You know, how do you keep it so organized? This is how you do it. You have a place for everything, and you pick it up and you put it back.
Exactly.
You don't leave it laying around. The messiest thing is right now is my kitchen, because you're always cooking.
Yeah.
And what you have is you have your kitchen and your stuff in mode where you're parked, and then you have it when you're on the road. And everything's
two different
tucked
modes.
away, you know.
Yep.
And I mean, all the difference you people will ever see with my van, you think it's so neat, is I have a sleeping bag I sleep in. When I get up in the morning, it goes back in the corner. That's it. I don't have to do anything else because everything is in its, you know, I put it back in its spot. That's the biggest thing.
Oh, you have some hooks back here.
Oh yeah, I put those are just some hooks I put back there. I mean, like I said, you got to use every inch you got in this place. So I was like running out of spaces to hang stuff, and I didn't want them over here or over there. And then in the back there, I've actually got a towel rack across the back door there. So when I get my towel, you know, shower or whatever, I can hang it back, or, you know, washcloth or whatever, you know.
Oh, good. So that's really good.
Every little thing, you know. I mean, and on my van, actually, it's a fiberglass high top, and it doesn't have any real insulation in the top. And yes, I could, you know, and I'm still kind of trying to figure that out. But my problem is I'm 5'10", and my head with shoes on is close to the top. So if I put anything up there, I'm not going to be able to really stand straight up. So it's a balance. I mean, I've watched all the videos, and don't hate me. I'm not saying you're wrong, but you watch people put 3 inches of stuff in the wall, 3 inches of stuff in the roof, 3 inches of stuff in the floor. It's a tin can. You can only insulate it so well. And when you start doing all that, you're shrinking your tin can. You know, you lose. I mean, 3 inches. You know, that's huge.
It is.
I mean, just a couple inches is huge. So, you know, to each his own. You know, I insulated the walls. I've got Reflectix. I've got 1/2-inch poly board in the wall, and then plywood over it. And the floor is a mat that I got online from another place. It's 3/4 of an inch thick, with kind of a rubber kind of backing on it. And it's actually, if you could take it out, say you got it like some oil on it or something, you could actually pull it out and wash it out. You know?
Oh, that's fantastic.
So, I mean, you feel that. It's cushy, you know. It may not insulate as well as 4 layers of who knows what, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
And that was my thing. You know, it's simple. It's you know, it's kind of utilitarian. You know, I'm not gonna. And my wood, you know, you can see little rough edges here and stuff, you know, but I think they call that rustic.
Yes, it is.
And I did this, you know. I can say, hey, I did that. You know, I built this. It's not the perfect, you know, $80,000 van or nothing, but you know, it works for me.
And it's very well organized, very thought out.
Hey,
it's
what can I say? I'm a
nice.
Capricorn. We're known for a little too anal about things, so. But,
well, I think you've done an amazing job. I absolutely love it. I love the organization skills you've utilized throughout this whole thing, and it looks, wow. Now, that's a true vanner right there. That's just amazing. I love it. All right, everybody. That was Paul, and I hope you enjoyed this video tour. Please give us a thumbs up. We'd appreciate it. All right, wake up and live.